He was just an average 13-year-old, but he got really good grades in school. Always helped out at home and was kind of part of the family. We always had fun together, did things together, were always together. And then when my dad passed away, things changed.
It was actually a bong. The first thing I ever smoked was a bong. Seemed at the time a really good way to get away from everything and just sort of zone into my own little world and take that responsibility of doing something really naughty and getting away with it.
He was a happy-go-lucky guy. He used to play football with the team, and then he seemed to stop turning up for games, and gradually he just disappeared off the scene.
That's what everyone's doing. Go off to the bushes, have a little spliff and that, cheeky little spliff. Naughty at first, all cheeky. Everyone loves it and that, yeah.
We already knew that his friendship groups had changed quite dramatically. He wasn't speaking to his best friends anymore.
Obviously all the older kids that used to smoke it where I lived and that, they used to have spliffs and that, and I used to smoke some of it. I think they must all thought it was funny or something, isn't it? I don't know, it's just funny when you're with all your mates, having a smoke and that, and everyone's just laughing and that.
And school started to phone my mum. They were really worried about him. They didn't quite understand what was going on. And obviously they were aware of our personal situation at home, but it didn't quite make sense how his grades had dropped that dramatically.
Everyone was smoking at the time, all my mates and that, all the older lot, just thought it was cool, thought I was cool smoking it, and I just started doing it every day.
He was heavily into it, and we could see that, and it was really affecting him. Everything went down, his personal hygiene went down, everything went down. He just started to look like a tramp.
My pocket money would go straight in 10 bag every week or whatever, which was kind of a bit sad, the fact that everyone else was probably going to play sports or going to eat sweets and there's me buying drugs. So.
I didn't even know what he was taking. It was like MDMA, LSD. He was staying out late, not even coming home some nights.
I used to sell like, all my things to buy it and that. I sold my Xbox to buy it and that. Just wanted it, do you know what I mean? I just wanted to feel stoned, like more of a habit than an addiction, do you know what I mean?
To be honest, it all went pear-shaped, like, you realise through smoking like so much weed a day that your world can turn upside down just by like not really paying attention to anything. You do it so much it becomes a routine thing, and that's when it gets the better of you, because you don't know when to stop.
Went to get the sat-nav out, it was an empty box. Went to get my camera out, empty box. And we had a stack of DVDs, and half of them were missing. And CDs went missing. PS1s, PS2s, they went missing.
I'd do silly crime, silly thefts. I'd actually steal from my mum, go into her purse, steal off that.
When they steal from you, that feeling, you sort of feel completely empty inside. He even stole a ring off my mum, and that ring was worth about 300 quid. He even broke into his father's house to make it look like it was somebody else.
Like, most of the time it wouldn't even be a good experience. I'd smoke weed, not because I wanted to, just because it was there and we were all doing it.
It brought me down with it, because I started to realise that, like, a drug is a drug, but your family is something that you can't replace, like. And I've lost so much because of it.
He looked really awful, but it wasn't just that. People felt very uncomfortable around him, and I think sometimes people forget how their drug use affects everyone else around them negatively as well.
Instead of something for fun, or something to do, just harmless if it becomes a habit, becomes an addiction, and then from there it all starts, all the chaos, all the mayhem, the tiredness, the sickness, depression, can't live a normal life if you're always smoking weed. You can't get up, you become lazy, very lazy. Don't want to get out of bed in the morning.
I don't like to admit it, but it's almost like if there was a job there, I'd go out and take it. But it's taking them first steps of getting up and finding that job. The motivation's not there, innit? I don't know, it's like kind of killed my motivation.
Like, you've always got to look at what you're losing and what you're gaining, and half of the time what you're losing will be a lot more than what you will be gaining. Like, I've relationships I've lost countless amounts of because I chose to smoke weed.
I think if drugs had never been involved in our lives, the situation would be very different now. I think my brother would maybe had some counselling after my dad died and managed to get his grades and be in college.
There are people out there who can help you. There are people you can talk to once you've realised you've got a problem. And eventually, of course, that's what he did. I just wish that had happened a lot earlier, before it had caused quite so many problems in his life that he now has to repair.
Yes, you've done drugs or drink or whatever you've done. You're the one that's done everything. You're the big I am. What about your parents, your siblings, your grandparents, your mates at school, your neighbours? Those people have supported you emotionally. You're just turning around, you're putting your fingers up to everybody and you're telling them, I don't give a monkey's. Breaks my heart.